Hello. I hope you want to learn some basic ASL sentences because that's what I plan to teach you now. The first sign is a sign for the word when. That's a sign for when. Okay. The next sign is you. You just point at the person right in front of you. The next sign is the verb to leave. So you want to get your hands kind of pointing to the left, and then you just close them like you picked up your luggage and you left with it. And this is the sign for to leave. Leave. Okay. The next sign is a sign for talk. Talk. Like this. I'll show you at different angles so you can see. Just basically using the hand shape like the number 4, which has nothing to do with it, it's just a hand shape. And you bounce it on your chin a few times. And that's to say talk or talking. The next is with. Just bring your hands like this hand shape, just bring them together in front of your chest. And that's with. Next is a question word. Who. Just want to make your hand like the L. Put your thumb on your chin and just bend your index finger. And you only have to bend it one time, 1 or 2 times. Who. The next is another question word. That is how. How. So you just have your hands in like this cupped shape, pretty comfortable. You don't have to make them rigid or anything. Bring the back of your fingers together, your index fingers, and then just let it roll out. And that's a sign for how. Now some people do it like this. They just bring their fingers together like this, and they just go like that 2 times. And that's how also. So there's different ways, just like someone might say how, and another person, when you're speaking quickly, you say ha, like how you doing. You say how are you doing. You don't always say how. So it's like a faster way of signing. But you can do it that way, or you can do it that way. The next sign is feel. Feel. So what you want to do is you want to make this hand shape. So you have your hand with your middle finger bent down a little bit. You just rub it slightly on the upper part of your chest. You only have to do it 1 or 2 times. I'm doing it many times so you can see. You just do it like 1 or 2 times, and that's the sign for feel. Feel, feeling, sensation. It's all the same, one sign for all of those different meanings. Okay, the next sign is a sign for sad. Sad. When you do it, you shouldn't look happy. You should kind of look sad when you're doing it. So you start with your head. This one has a few different things involved because you're just using the hand shape, which we can call 5, because it's like the number 5. Again, it's just the name for the hand shape. Number 5 has nothing to do with sad or sadness. It's just the hand shape that's used, and it's a way of identifying this hand shape. You put it in front of your face, and you bring it down a little bit, and you can drop your head at the same time. You should drop your head at the same time. So that's the sign for sad. Okay? Sad. Okay. The next sign is another question word. So now you're going to start off with your hands like the 5 again. You're going to put it up at your temple. Your temple, or a little bit higher than that. And then you're going to bring it down to this hand shape, which happens to be the letter Y, which makes it easy to remember because this is the question word why. And that's just a coincidence that it happens to be the letter Y. But you just start up here and you come down to Y. So it would look like that. Y. Okay? Y. The The next sign is a noun, and it's a fruit. It's it's apple. You're going to instead of making the hand shape S or A, you're going to make it like an S, but then bring your index finger bent up a little bit like this. So like that's the letter X, but this you just bring it in a little bit, and then you bring it up to like right to the side of your mouth, your cheek and your mouth right here, and you just twist it, and that's the sign for apple. Sign for onion is the same, except you put it by your eye, as if to say an onion makes your eyes tear, like you're crying. So this is the sign for onion, and this is the sign for apple. Okay, the next fruit is orange. Orange starts with this hand shape, which looks like a claw. You put it right in front of your chin, right in front of your mouth and your chin, and you just bring it down twice. So you're starting with this claw hand shape, and you bring it down to the letter S hand shape. So you just do that twice, and that's the sign for orange. So it would just look like this when you're doing it normally. You don't have to turn to the side. I'm turning to the side and moving for a lot of the signs just so that you can see it better with the video. Sometimes is two-dimensional. So I want you to see how you do it. So that's the sign for orange. The next fruit is banana. So you start with the index finger of your left hand. This is if you're right-handed. If you're a right-handed person, you put your left hand, which is your base hand. It's the hand that's not going to move. And now your main movement is going to be with your dominant hand, your right hand. Now if you're a lefty, you should do this opposite. You should use the video more like a mirror. If you're right-handed, you should do it the opposite of what you see in the video. And you're going to take your right hand, and as if you're peeling the peel off the banana. So you just do it twice, and that's the sign for banana. So banana would just be like that, okay? That's the sign for banana. The next sign is a verb, and it's like this, want, okay? So you just start with your hands up in front of your chest, like this, and you bring them in towards you, want. And you start off with them open, and then you kind of close them to the claw shapes. You're starting with the 5 hand shape, and you're ending with the claw hand shape as it comes into you. So that's want. And the last sign is another question word, and that is which. Which you just make your hand shape like this, like an A spread, call it A spread, there's different names for it, and you just move it up and down, and that's the sign for which. Okay. So now how about some sentences? Here's the first sentence. Now remember, these are in ASL word order, which is different from English word order. But here we go, and you can practice them. I'm just going to go through them once each. So it's you leave when. That's when are you leaving. The next is you talk with who? You can figure out what that means, right? Who are you talking with? The next is how are you? So you could say how you. There's no verb to be in ASL. How are you? But another way that deaf people say how are you is they just say, do the sign for feel and you with a question on their face. So it would look something like this. Remember to keep your thumb down, because if you have your thumb up, that means I shoot you. And you don't want to say I shoot you. You want to say feel you is how a lot of deaf people say how are you. Okay, the next one is you sad. Why? Why are you sad? Now, apple, orange, banana, you want, eat, which? Which do you want to eat? An apple, an orange, or banana?